some background idea.
Hello and welcome to Contramundum. Our long national nightmare is over. Donald Trump is again the president of the United States. He was sworn in a few hours ago.
Here's how the Democrats can still win.
No, it's more like here's how we can still blackmail today. No, Donald Trump is president once again. My mic is not where I want it to be, so I'm just gonna keep doing this.
Just slide the foot under the side. In fact, we're gonna have this discussion live.
Okay, yeah.
Because I didn't have time to get you away from whatever you were doing. We need so first of all, put the foot under the side of the chair like mine is.
Now look at this. This is the greatest podcast ever.
No,
I like it where it is. I like it where
you're leaning forward.
I like it where it is. All right. Donald Trump is president once again. Thank you. Thank the Lord. He's president. Everything is great now.
Not yet.
Soon.
How
do you feel today, CJ?
I'm cautiously optimistic. There's a lot of energy, momentum on our side, but he's got to do it, right? It was really eerie up there seeing all the tech billionaires behind him.
I know. I saw Jeff Bezos. Is it Bezos or Bezos? I've never known.
Bezos.
Bezos. Okay.
His, Zuckerberg was up there.
Zuckerberg. I mean, obviously Elon was there. Tim Apple was present.
I didn't see Tim Apple.
You didn't?
No.
Oh, he was there. Oh yeah.
Cool. Who is that? Who is that lady next to Jeff Bezos? Was that his wife?
Or his concubine?
Whatever she is.
Yeah. She's mostly.
Why was she there?
Plastic.
Just because he bought his way in.
When you are like the second or third richest man in the world, you can just bring your half human, half plastic woman.
So I'm actually more interested in talking about the space here. We need a little coffee table because I need a drink already.
I got mine.
Oh, nice.
It was very difficult to open
and very difficult to reach down and get.
Yeah, that's true. We need a coffee table.
We need a table and up here back here with a lamp. We have like a producer now, by the way. He's not on camera, but he's taking notes.
Yeah,
he's like the Mark Cuban,
all the notes.
like the Mark Cuban. Yeah, he's taking notes of everything that we say about. What we need to get.
I think he's more like the black dude in the yellow suit behind the tree, rubbing his hands.
Probably.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably. We got some cool announcements this year. We're not quite ready, but you can see there's a little bit of changes going on. There's a different feel to Contramundum.
That's right.
I can't read the comments, but I'm sure they're great.
Yeah, CJ doesn't have good vision. He's never going to be a fighter pilot like me. So
yeah, I'm not. It's true.
Yeah, hopefully the volume's better now. We're still testing out this room. Let us know in the comments. But anyway, Donald Trump is president. What did you think of the inaugural address? We watched it together and listened to President Trump.
So like, what were the major themes? Like immigration.
Number one,
the only thing I remember.
Right, the border. That he's designated the cartels as a foreign terrorist organization. Enemy Aliens Act of 1798. He's invoking. He's militarizing the southern border. Ending catch and release. I mean, so all of the like basic executive order actions that he can take, he obviously is doing day one.
Yeah.
Did you notice that he said we're going to deport millions and millions of criminal aliens? And it's like, I mean, it's a little fuzzy, right? It's probably like to lessen the impact of deporting 50 million people, where it's like, yeah, we'll start with the murderers and the rapists and the drug dealers. But all of them are criminals, right? They've all violated our laws.
What's the name of that app that basically automates their approval? The one app?
Oh, like,
and it just got shut down today, right?
Yeah, the Asylum app. Yeah.
Shut down in lifetime. And so we're already seeing, quick, he's crying. Let's burn the Constitution. Like we're going to be subjected to years of imagery propaganda on the border issue.
Oh, of course we are.
Yeah, lots of tears.
AOC down at the border crying all day long.
A lot of photo ops, a lot of sheriffs on horseback, like that, all that kind of stuff is going to be every day. Just
I mean, hold up for a second. Like, think back to the Haitians at the south. Like, for one, why are they at the southern border? Like, it's an island, right? How do they get to Mexico, right? But all the Haitians that were swarming, and then you have the horrible pictures of the border patrol whipping the Haitian aliens. Right. And it's like, no, they weren't at all. They were riding horses. Right. It was totally fake. Just like everything the media says, you can just believe the opposite. But yeah, a lot of good border stuff. I mean, the proof will be in the pudding. I mean, everyone, and to your credit, CJ, you haven't done this. Everyone who like wants to black pill is like, he's not going to do anything at the border. Nothing's going to happen. It's a failure. Like,
I haven't done this because you haven't talked to me today.
You're not allowed. You're not allowed to. Now that I'm in person, I will bully you. But no, man, like I think he is. Like, I think he is going to use every bit of power that he possibly can. I mean, it was really interesting him saying that, the cartels, MS-13 and Tren de Agua and like all these, various foreign gangs that are operating inside our borders, they're foreign terrorist organizations. And
he's using that language because there's a lot of federal administrative leeway when you use that language.
Once you invoke terrorism, yeah, exactly.
Yeah. This is like one of the worst parts of the Bush administration was the fact that they went through all this and set up the legal infrastructure to use this language, but now we have to use it in a good way.
Well, yeah, they put the toothpaste out of the tube, so like, let's brush our teeth, man. So
fluoride-free toothpaste.
Hopefully, there's baking soda,
coconut oil, man.
But and coconut oil. Just, let's go. So yeah, it's interesting. Also, right, the imagery though, like, let me back up just for a second, because like he's saying this, the cartels are terrorist organizations. When he has Barack Hussein Obama sitting there in the audience right in front of him, who just like drone strike random people, including American citizens, because they're terrorists. It's like, whoa. If those are terrorist organizations, then it's time to fly some drones over Mexico and pretend Mexico is Pakistan.
Yeah.
Right? Like, for real. Like, why? What's stopping him? If they're terrorist organization, why doesn't he do that? I mean, maybe he will. Yeah.
He was obviously, that's a hard speech to give, right? I mean, he's got power now. However, like, he's obviously giving indications. I think the biggest indication is birthright citizenship. Like he said, day one, that's going to be done. I mean, there's going to be a lot of lawsuits about it. Supreme Court's going to have to get involved, but you need those lawsuits to happen. If you're going to reverse some of these things, you have to make people sue the federal government. And that's when the Supreme Court can step in, and they're well postured to reverse some of these key things, like the 14th Amendment expansions. Yeah, like that's the first one is we're just going to revoke birthright citizenship of illegals. Right. No, they don't get to just. Well, yeah, exactly. They're just going to pop a baby out here, and now you're a citizen, and you get free stuff for in perpetuity. Exactly. Yeah. No, that needs to be relitigated at the Supreme Court, right? And so, like that phrase, subject to the jurisdiction thereof, in the 14th Amendment is very important, because these are not people subject to the jurisdiction of the United States. They are foreign citizens. And that should go for people on green cards too. All the H-1Bs, right? You get rid of birthright citizenship, and then if they don't do as much on H-1Bs as we want to do, but that's gone, that's at least a little bit better, right? Yeah, but you have to go back to. Well, but Trump's mandate is not about a little bit better. He's got to change the game in Washington. Yeah. He has to put the incentive structure into continuing this momentum. If this is just a hiccup, if this is just a speed bump, then nothing matters. And that was like that was the lessons learned of 2016. Anything can be reversed, right? I just saw, you can't read that, but Adam Duell, his copy, he's trying to watch at 2 times speed and it's not working. I'm just going to talk faster then for Adam. We're live. Is that we're not? Let's do it live. We're live. We can't do that, man. Like you talk faster, CJ. Come on. We would need a lot of financial support to make that happen. We need a DeLorean there.
So anyway, I think the most pivotal part of his speech, and as we were watching it together, I said to you, I was like this is why they tried to kill him, right? Is when he said, we're going to, and this has been his shtick for since 2015, right? We're going to have the biggest, baddest, toughest military around, and we're going to use it basically to stay out of wars.
Mm-hmm.
Right? We're going to stop wars. We're not going to enter any new ones. We're going to prevent wars from happening. That's what's in the interest of the American people. And he's saying all of this, and mind you, all the stuff he's saying is in front of Obama, George W. Bush,
mm-hmm.
all of these congressmen and senators.
Oh yeah, Joe Biden. Yeah,
all of these people who are the regime.
Mm-hmm.
Right, the entire regime is saying this stuff, or he's saying this stuff to them, in front of them, but appealing to the American people, like basically saying, I am going to undo all the things these people do. I am going to stop the gravy train
mm-hmm.
that has been rolling,
mm-hmm.
that and it's done. Right, that's the reason they want him dead. Right there. That's the reason why this had to be inside today.
Yeah,
I think it's not. Oh, it's too cold. We can't go outside in the cold. Right,
yeah,
that's just an excuse.
Probably,
they were going to try to kill him today.
So, but what would the if they were successful in that? JD Vance would just be the guy, right? Or would it force a constitutional crisis?
Well, Vance was there too. Right. What if they got both of them at the same time? I mean, that's why I think that's why they had it inside.
Mm-hmm.
Is right. All it would take is like few hundred or 1,000 drones, and they just wipe them all out.
Mm-hmm.
So, or I don't know. It's
all right. So, what's your favorite topic? Which of the topics that he's going to make the focus of his first 100 days do you think is the most impactful?
Well, it's always, it goes back to immigration,
mm-hmm.
right? All of it, and
mm-hmm.
and I don't know. I mean, the big question here is whether he ignores the courts, right? Whether he just does it, right? It says, all right, they made their ruling, try to enforce it.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, this is what Joe Biden did with like student loans is, the court said, no, I'm just going to do it anyway.
Yeah.
And so, oh no, I'm the commander in chief and this is an emergency. We're going to keep going. Right. You don't have the power. We have a foreign invasion going on. We are going to deal with it. You can't stop us. Right. So I think it's going to be all hands on deck as far as immigration for, certainly the next 3 months.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, we'll see, because they're not going to like pretend it's not happening. They're going to freak out about it big time.
Yeah.
But
like, okay, so one of the things I'm concerned about is this basically being like a meme administration where like lots of headlines,
mm-hmm.
lots of promises, lots of, things going into place, but no actual work to be done. That's the big issue that I'm actually worried about. Can something actually be done? Because if it can't be done, it's sort of a now or never situation. If it can't be done now, it can never be done.
Yeah.
Like that's why I'm cautiously optimistic. To what extent is the deep state willing to go to keep its agenda in play?
I don't know, because they didn't do anything. You know what I mean? They haven't done anything at all.
Yeah.
That's what's kind of disconcerting about all of this.
Mm-hmm.
Is they haven't tried any of their legal shenanigans. They didn't protest
nothing
in the counting of the electoral college. They didn't do anything at all.
Yeah.
And so you're left with like, all right, either they are just beaten into submission because of the election, or there's something coming.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how I felt since November, basically. I mean, we were saying that election night.
I agree.
It's like, what's going to happen next? I don't know. And so far they haven't done anything at all.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah.
Anyway, now I think
so I actually like the drill baby drill stuff.
Oh yeah.
Like this is kind of a funny topic, but I think countering one of the things that's interesting is Elon Musk obviously has financial interests in e-cars.
Yes.
And yet the Trump administration is signaling very strongly that they're not going to play that game. So that's an interesting dynamic.
Oh, here's a question from the other poll. I'll read it to you since that's too far away for you to read.
Too far away.
The likelihood of legal immigration reversals to any degree.
Of legal immigration reversals?
Legal, yes.
Well, I mean, there's a lot that can be done on legal immigration that would be headway, like stop the exploitation of asylum seekers.
Yes.
Right? That's where the One App comes in. You can't take advantage of our laws.
Yeah.
Those are legal avenues of entry.
Yeah, and like, I mean, there are, genuine, legitimate asylum seekers.
Of course, that German family that does the homeschooling.
Yeah.
That's a legitimate.
Very much so. Or Afrikaners leaving South Africa because they're being brutalized, right? Like that. Those are legit, and so you have to be able to vet them. I mean, I have heard that they are looking to hire like hundreds of lawyers for immigration and customs enforcement to be able to.
You mean the Trump administration?
Yes, to be able to vet these people and investigate whether.
Yeah, the automated thing is
just some app. That's idiotic. No.
Well, it's not idiotic. It's purposeful negligence. Like, you should.
Yeah, exactly.
You should attribute that to nefarious interests, not
stupidity.
Right.
Yeah. No, you're 100% right. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, that's the one that everyone's watching. That's the one we're gonna get the most emotion on. I mean, we were talking about this last fall, whether Trump and some of the things he wants to do is going to let some steam out of the room because things are so pent up. That's kind of the purpose of Trump, is to just release the valve a little bit.
One of the comments from Sam, this is way too informal. Canceling my yearly subscription. No, we'll be back to formality Friday. Don't worry. Wait,
how is this more? How is this?
Because we're in jeans, man. We gotta get buttoned up here, man. Like this is we're too chill right now.
We have the major announcements coming.
Yeah, just hold up on this.
No, we need to tease it. I'm frustrated because I don't have a water in my hand.
Yeah, I know you do. So the biggest thing beyond immigration that he said today, I think, is largely symbolic, right? So when he starts talking about
DEI,
but like Mount McKinley, it's going back to Mount McKinley. We're renaming it the Gulf of Mexico. Things like, it seems silly, right? We think that that's nothing. It's just changing a name. Who cares?
No, symbols are important.
They're extremely important. I mean, look at what they did with all of the military bases, right? Oh, we can't have Fort Bragg anymore because that was a Confederate.
All right, so here's a concern. In the 90s with NAFTA, they were going to do this big North American union with Canada, America, and Mexico. And none of the conservatives, the paleo-conservatives, the Pat Buchananites wanted that. But now they can do it under Trump's banner, and it's based, and all the right-wing influencers are in on it. What do you think?
I don't think we're gonna do that.
Huh?
No.
That's what the Gulf of America means.
Maybe
that's what Greenland refers to.
I think Greenland. Well,
it's like, how can we take this blurring of the borders and make it based? So all the conservatives are in for it. You just wrap it in McKinleyite sloganeering.
Maybe you're right. Maybe. And I hope you're wrong.
Once in a while, I'm right.
I know. I hope you're wrong about this. I think the Greenland. All of these things is right. He evokes manifest destiny. In his inaugural address, and I don't think that's just rhetorical flourish, right? I think it is. He wants to reinvigorate the American spirit of the. You went on this long thing about the frontier and pioneers and all those.
Let's talk about this. Trump is not the person to organize this sort of narrative structuring. Who's there doing that? Is that Tucker? Is that Stephen Miller? Who's helping with that side of things?
I think Stephen Miller has a hand in this. He was a speechwriter.
By the way, he's one of my top 3 favorites.
Oh, he's great.
Yeah,
he's phenomenal.
So who else then? Are Claremont guys involved?
I did notice near the front row, at least in the audience, not the people behind him, was Tucker Carlson.
Yeah, as expected.
Yeah,
as expected. Mel Gibson, it's probably right some of that
stuff. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, he's Hollywood ambassador, yes. Mel Gibson.
Yes, exactly.
You're in charge of Hollywood now, Mel. No, I'm not really sure.
Well, think about the symbolism, okay? Of
but he obviously has posters in the.
There's a lot of
the White House.
What's that website? The one with the slogan where symbols rule the world. You should
Gary, look it up.
Gary, look it up. What's the site that symbols rule the world?
I don't know.
He'll get back to us on that.
Yeah,
but the point is that, like, you know, you have all of this symbology is there. It's right for the taking. And just 2 weeks ago, the Hollywood sign is up in flames, right? And then now all of a sudden, we're back. The America's golden age is here. Mm-hmm. There's something like metaphysical going on here.
Well, there is, and like for anybody that would be like, nah, symbols, this is just mere symbolic gestures. They don't matter. They don't mean anything. When they
what's he saying? Yeah, vigilant citizen.
Okay.
Yeah,
there we go.
I endorse that site. Has my endorsement.
It has your endorsement. Okay. Yeah. I have no comment. It may be horrible, and I would have no idea. So the thing about symbols is they melted down Robert E. Lee's face, right? And that's just merely a symbolic gesture,
mm-hmm.
right? That's just like there's no like public policy connected to that, right? There's no laws or anything that affect any. How does this personally affect you, right? But it does.
Yeah,
it does affect us.
Yeah,
and that was the high watermark of the regime thus far. Maybe, Lord willing, it won't get that way again. But that was it, right? That was them saying your history, your heritage, your heroes are evil. We will destroy them. And what they're saying is we will destroy you, right? You do not matter. We will do this to this. The symbolism there is this is you, and we're doing this to you.
Do you think Trump's going to reinstate some of these statues?
Maybe. I mean, there's a federal commission on it. What's the casualty count for team? Nothing ever happens post inauguration. Well, it seems like something's happening. It seems like there have been some happenings, right? Trump doing all of these things is, I mean, do anything on immigration whatsoever, and we want way more than just anything, but anything on the issue is something happening.
Yeah.
So, and I think about all of these things. I mean, I'm judging it based on both what is capable for him to accomplish, what he actually can do within reason, right? Within the bounds of the constraints that any president, the perfect ideal president, would be under. And so judging him based off that, but also judging him based on, all right, think of the alternative, right? Think if Kamala had won and what today would be like, right? Just think about that for a moment, right? Listening to her give a wine-fueled and Xanax-fueled speech today, what would that be like? It'd be awful.
I mean, it'd be like the last 4 years.
Well, it'd be like the last 4 years, but worse, right? Because she's not. I mean, she's really dumb, but
remember,
she's not senile.
So remember her like the speech where she, accepts her defeat.
I've already forgotten.
No, but like that's what it was like. It was awkward.
Yeah,
her eyes were bulging.
Yeah,
like she had obviously gotten no sleep.
Yeah,
but that for 4 years. That's what it would be like today.
I see Stryker. Stryker says Trump's constraints are only self-imposed at this point. He can do way more than most people realize. I don't know if that's true. I don't think it is. I think the constraints are not simply, right? The constraints are not simply, oh, here he's doing stuff that he can do, that he's not doing, he should be doing. It's also like, so for instance, when he won in 2016, right, and he takes office, like me and everybody else wanted him to do like all of this Ron Paul type stuff, just like fire everybody
at the Fed.
Fire everybody at the
FBI
and the CIA and everything else, and he didn't do any of those things.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Why didn't he do any of those things? Right? Because he loves the FBI and thinks they're great, or the CIA. And
there are internal constraints on power.
Well, for one, like you can't fire everyone in the executive branch, unfortunately. Right? That's one thing that has to change.
Mm-hmm.
But he can't. Right? He can only fire like political appointees, which is like, what is it, like 20%, 30% of Washington? So
we've talked about majority
this. Well,
like what? So I mean,
the government is people he has no control over. He can't fire them. I mean, they're bound, like all this labor law protects these people, and so that's a constraint that's not self-imposed. That's, I think, one of the biggest ones.
Mm-hmm.
That's one of the biggest ones that Elon Musk, if he is actually going to do anything with this Doge thing, is going to have to solve, right? That enigma.
Mm-hmm.
And like you could be really clever in how you do it. I mean, maybe that's the point of Greenland is it's like everybody you can't fire that you want to just quit. It's like, all right, your office is now in Greenland. That's where this department, the EPA, is going to be based in Greenland. So anyway, I don't know. I mean, it is. I want to be optimistic, but like temper that optimism and not be foolhardy, and be like, oh yeah, all of our wildest dreams are going to come true. Like we're voting for Pedro, right?
Pedro Gonzalez.
Oh no, oh, I forgot. You don't what? You've never seen movie. You've never even seen Napoleon Dynamite. Have you?
I actually have.
Oh, okay, never mind.
Yes.
So anyway, yeah, I don't know. I'm optimistic, but I'm not thinking like, okay, he's gonna do it. He's gonna do everything I would do if I had unlimited power in America. Like, of course, he's not gonna do all those things.
Yeah.
Right. I think he will take some pretty hefty swings at the things that are most important, and by far the most important thing, without question, is immigration.
Mm-hmm.
And he is going to go all out on that 100%. Right. I have no doubts that he will. And especially part of it is he has a much bigger mandate now this time around to accomplish this task, because the country has seen what it looks like when he's not in charge of the border. And people are furious. They're angry. I mean, just even the H-1B fight, people are furious about that, as they should be. And many of his guys, like, they took it on the chin, right? You know, you saw Vivek is like way off in the corner behind everyone. You know, he's been shoved off into the corner, has to wear a dunce cap.
What's that old lady's name who's managing Trump's like personnel? Like she's like a chief of staff or something.
Susie Wiles.
Yeah. I guess she's the one that's leading the charge against Vivek's presence.
Well, all right.
That's the rumor.
You heard it here first. Breaking news.
That's what I'm hearing from my sources.
Your sources tell you.
Yes.
Well, Ron Dodson, apparently like knows her family, all this. Think she's great.
Yeah, she's great. She's great.
I mean, and, like, if she's fighting Vivek, hopefully she's like got him strapped to a chair and he has to watch all of Saved by the Bell and Boy Meets World.
Yeah,
it's his punishment.
Yeah. Well, he's going to be the Ohio governor.
So he thinks. I will tell people to vote for the Democrat over him. Honestly,
who else? I mean, what other Republican would run?
I don't know. I mean, we should have Michael Foster run for governor of Ohio.
Yeah, I'm sure he'd do that.
Make it happen, Michael. So anyway, the other thing that we should talk about today, besides the inauguration, and besides Trump's speech,
we should talk about how dumb Mars is.
We can talk about that in a little bit. I like. We can have that debate later.
Stupid.
We're gonna have the debate. We'll have the debate later.
Who cares?
So, what did you think about the pardons that Joe Biden did
entirely predictable.
So, like General Milley,
yeah,
Dr. Fauci, the January 6th committee. So Adam Kinzinger has been pardoned.
Liz Cheney. That's like the most predictable thing ever.
Yeah.
That happened this morning, right? Or last night?
Yeah, it happened at like 7 this morning.
Yeah. Yeah, super predictable. I don't really have much to say. Like, everyone knows they're criminals and they should be tried and they should be convicted, and that's what would have happened.
Yeah, I think it is I mean, I said this on Twitter, on X. I said that it's an admission that the entire regime is criminal from the top down. Right? It just as bald-faced as they can be about it, just brazen. Right? We're criminals. We know it. We know you know it, and there's nothing you can do about it. But here's the thing, right? Him pardoning Dr. Fauci, particularly, I think that invites people to. And so, hold on, let me stop for a second, because we have to stay peacefully dangerous here on this podcast. And this, I'm speaking descriptively and not prescriptively. So no one do this. No one's saying I'm telling you to do this. Do not do this. I think what it opens the doors, because now the possibility of any prosecution for Dr. Fauci, who is a mass murderer, is out the window. It cannot happen because he has been pardoned. I think it invites people to take matters into their own hands, right? So somebody
like who?
Well, I mean, any random guy who has turbo cancer from the Fauci vaccine, and is terminal, right? Right. Which I'm guessing there's a lot of people in that boat and now regretting taking it. Right. He better hire good security. Right. That's what President Biden has done for him.
And that would be, we don't endorse that.
We do. Of course we don't.
But like, these are the situations.
No, I want him to be tried fairly.
Yeah. These are the situations that come into play when people are desperate. And that the rule of law is not allowed to provide its function.
When the government is lawless.
Yeah.
Right.
Totally.
That's the kind of stuff that happens.
And that's bad.
Yeah.
And nobody wants that.
That's what President Biden has brought about. And as far as General Milley go, like, you can pardon treason, right?
I don't know. There are exceptions.
I think I don't know if you can. I
think there are exceptions to the pardon.
Can a president pardon treason?
I don't know. Let's get our non-commenter.
Yeah, someone tell me if a president can pardon treason.
Where's Cryptic? He knows all this stuff.
So he's been banned too many times. If a president can pardon treason, then it's done. There's nothing he can do. But if he can't,
we should get like a big whiteboard, so that we can have Gary over here write down our questions.
Our questions to follow back
up on. Because I can't see anything. So like, if we just said, can he pardon treason? He can just write yes on the whiteboard.
Well, yeah, Turtle. This is Turtle Scott. Vivek will be allowed to return after demonstrating he can perform one chin up. Like, did you see that video of him and his wife doing like burpees when he was running for president?
No.
And they were like the worst burpees I've ever seen in my entire life. They're really bad. Gary, can you pull up that video? Vivek doing burpees. I don't know if he can. I don't know if he. I mean, the thing is, for the chin up, like, I can't do. I just got too much. There's too much mass.
Too much square slop.
That too. Too much mass. I can only do like 3. And so, but Vivek does not have very much muscle mass, but he doesn't have very much body mass. So I don't know. I mean, this is an open question of whether Vivek can do a chin up. We'll see. We'll find out. We'll find out if he passes that test. But no, more seriously though, I was extremely disturbed by these. I mean, even though they're predictable, you knew they're going to happen and all of that.
Yeah, I was.
It disturbs me that the regime is this lawless that these people who are traitors,
like,
and murderers, will now cannot.
These people have got away with these things since the managerial revolution in the 30s, so it doesn't surprise me.
No, they've gotten away from it, but like, just the fact that the scant possibility that they would be held accountable legally for their crimes, which, I mean, they never, like you said, they never have before. They've always gotten away with, the system's always protected them and all of it. But now, like, to have it out in the open, that the regime is protecting them.
I think the Trump administration should still do a multi-year investigation into the entire situation and make it very plain that we would try him if they hadn't been pardoned.
Yeah.
Like, well, I think they should go through all that anyway. They should, I mean, that's useful. And that way that people know, they know that this is what the Trump administration found, and this is what he's liable for. And this is why Biden had pardoned him. Like, that needs to be made very clear that all of these things, the Biden administration knew about it, and this is why they pardoned him.
Just let CJ can see the comments. Call it a banger in the comment section. Oh, the announcements. Yeah, do we have the announcement? What time?
No, we don't have the announcement.
Which announcement?
Which announcement?
They're asking. You said we had announcements. What are the announcements going to be?
Oh yeah, we have announcements eventually.
Were you going to do them today?
No.
All right. Well, we can even
what?
Hint a little bit?
No, we didn't talk about it.
Okay.
I mean, we have multiple. We have like multiple shows coming.
Yeah, multiple. Like, that's why. Like, so we were gonna record Friday.
We have like one of the most exciting announcements that we'll probably be able to announce in like 2 weeks.
Very exciting announcement for that one. But
huge.
We could talk a little bit about some of the content we're gonna do, because today we're just verbally posting all the things that we would have just tweeted, but like, we could tell them about the series, right, that we're gonna do.
Well, that's the one I need to nail down the schedule on it.
All right, fine. We'll just keep everybody hanging in the wind.
But we are gonna have a premium Monday show and our live Friday show.
Yeah, we won't be wearing jeans. I'll tell you that.
No, yeah.
We'll be looking good. We'll
be wearing jeans on Friday for our live relaxed show. But no jeans allowed.
I don't know.
No jeans allowed for
casual
Mondays.
Fridays.
Well, what about these aren't jeans? Are these okay for Fridays?
I guess.
For Friday?
I guess. So anyway, enough on the wardrobe, man.
No, we should handle this right now.
A good series coming up that I guess I'm not allowed to tell you about. I really want to.
I want to solidify it with the other participant first.
Not the one that we're doing this summer, like the one we're gonna do soon. Can we tell them about that? Oh,
that one.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, that one.
Yes.
Okay, go ahead.
We have 2 exciting announcements currently.
Dude, I mean, come on. We're gonna promo it a little bit. Thank you.
We're gonna do a series called Repealing the 20th Century.
Yes.
And we're gonna go a deep dive, a mini series, well produced, lots of images, lots of other sound effects, and it's going to be really nice. And it's going to be basically about, what went wrong in the 20th century. That the 20th century was the aberration of the American way.
Yeah, where did Trash World come from? It came from the 20th century, right? That's what the series will be about.
And initially, we had broken it up into 10, right? Like one episode per decade. But the more we look into it, it's going to be deeper.
And it's much too hard to be like, all right, here are these like 7 or 8 different areas of things that happened, like layered over. It's like, oh, well, it's 1910 now. We got to stop. I think it's much better to.
There's natural, things that work together.
And, eras and themes and things that took place. So we want to be able to analyze them as a coherent.
Yeah, no, I'm excited for that for sure. I mean, people need to realize that like the 20th century was this grand epochal repudiation of the American way of life. And we're suffering the fruits of it right now.
Dude, yeah, we are. And it's and it I mean, when you were homeschooled, but I was in public school. And in public school, the way we were propagandized was that everything that happened in the 20th century, all the progress is so great. Look at all the great things we have now, and the changes, the social changes that we have, and it's so wonderful. And it's a total repudiation of all
the
of
biggest
human history.
And we're going to talk about this in the inaugural episode too, but the 20th century was done, the narrative formulation of the 20th century was such that it was done in a way that said, this is the fulfillment of the founding fathers.
Yeah.
That's what made it so lethal, because people didn't recognize that there was a revolution at play.
Yeah. Yeah. It was a rejection of everything that preceded it, but they frame it in such a way.
They frame it as the fulfillment.
That it's a fulfillment of the founding vision. It's a fulfillment of like Christian ethics as well.
Oh yeah. And a lot of that, yeah, no, you're right. You're right. That was a big part of it too. And so we should, dig into the theological background of it, because that plays a huge role in like liberal progressivism. I mean, Gary North is good on this. Did you ever read his Crossed Fingers books? I mean, this is all part of the deal, part of the story.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. And it's going to be fun.
It's going to be fun.
It's going to be fun.
It's going to be
to see all of this.
It's going to be revisionist.
Yeah. Ooh.
It's going to be
revisionist.
It's going to be a classical, this is going to be the old right view of the American story of the 20th century.
Yeah.
It's basically going to describe the transition from heritage America to post America. That's what it's going to do. Yeah. The 20th century was this grand bridge from one way of life to the new.
This is good from Stryker. If CJ keeps quoting Gary North, I'll be happy. Gary North is great on this stuff.
You get once per year.
Once per year.
January, mid-January, inauguration day.
We'll see you next January.
Yeah, no, he's good on this issue. Yeah. He's good on a lot of issues.
A lot of things. I mean, there is a lot of libertarianism that you have to just be like, hold your nose with, but
like his historical insights are fantastic.
His historical insights are very good.
Yeah.
I mean,
his view of the Constitutional Convention is fascinating.
And this is the same thing with like Murray Rothbard as well.
Oh yeah.
Right. His historical analysis, really, really, really good. But even there, like he'll throw in these little things like, you see, this is bad because it's not the free market. And it's like, okay.
He's kind of two minds, because he'll do that sometimes.
Yeah.
But he'll also do things like Jackson was cool because he did this, this, and this, even though he wasn't a free marketer, he's still our guy. So like, like you can see some of that in later Murray Rothbard, but he'll be a major source for us.
Definitely. Yeah. Murray, I call him Murray, like we're friends.
Yeah.
He died when I was 12. No, did he die in 96?
Yeah, 95.
I was 10, 9. So
I was 5.
Yeah, I never got to meet him. That'd been cool though. But no, his work, his series on the end of laissez-faire.
We have to get a Murray Rothbard laugh track in here.
He laughs a lot in this series.
He's got this like high pitched cackle.
Yeah, it's funny. That's exactly, you got it.
Yeah,
that's perfect. Okay, so so anyway, stay tuned for that. That'll be fun.
That'll be a lot of fun.
But what else? I
mean, that's going to be the first series of the Monday program, basically.
Yeah.
Fridays will be live. We'll have something where I can like get some water.
We'll have a fully decked out studio, right?
Yeah, I think we need we need a wider lens on the camera. We're also gonna have 3 different camera angles.
Fish-eyed and look like this,
Well, I mean, or we need to sit closer together, but this is kind of awkward. Like, what's going on right here? We need a lamp.
There's nothing right here. Okay.
We need some decor. You need your Nixon poster back in the corner above your head.
Yeah, President Nixon has to be represented.
And I got
absolutely.
And I'll have mine. On the side, what do we got?
Lens. Yeah, we do need a wider lens. Yeah. What else?
Is this the new camera or is this the old one still?
This is the old camera.
So the new one had a wider lens with it, right?
This kind of here. Trump proved that state crimes can't be federally pardoned. So if they can prove that Dr. Fauci is a murderer, I mean, even just like getting his license suspended would be a huge win. I mean, there's still things that could be done to him legally, and that's what I want to happen. I don't want I don't want vigilantism to take place. I don't want a lawless government to provoke that. Right. That's how we look at it. So, when we're talking about, Dr. Fauci, and I'm saying like this might be a thing people do, that's what they're provoking. Right. And maybe it's intended to provoke it. Right. They like, even though Trump is in charge of the federal government nominally, and Kash Patel is going to be at the FBI, you don't think that all of the people that they can't fire in the FBI aren't going to be like, oh yeah, we've got right-wing terror going on, just what we wanted, and now we can do anything we want. Like, they don't have total power over those people.
No.
So
no, they don't.
That's the thing that worries me with this. But yeah, I think state AGs should definitely do it. Like, the one we have here in Tennessee is really good. The Missouri one is really good. Ken Paxton in Texas, very good. So good they tried to impeach him. The Republican Party tried to impeach him.
Yeah, I mean, state level would be an interesting angle, because you can't.
You know who else didn't get pardoned today? Joe Biden.
Yeah, but his wife voted for Donald Trump.
Well, and not only that, he wore a Trump hat, right? But not only that, we've already proven that, or the Justice Department's already proven that he's not competent to stand trial. So that's probably why he didn't pardon himself.
That'd be a funny.
He pardoned like 10 minutes before he left for the inauguration. He pardoned like 6 of his family members. Right, that's weird. Why would you do that?
Yeah.
Right. Probably because I've been laundering money for him for the last 60 years.
Yeah.
Right. That's why.
Yeah.
So, and it's also interesting. I don't know if you saw this, the Fauci pardon, it was
going back,
dated back to January 1st, 2014.
That was interesting.
When they started doing everything in Wuhan.
Right. That's when the Ukraine stuff started too.
Yes. There were, I mean, do you remember that, I think it was Victoria Nuland testifying
yes, of course,
to the Senate that about bioweapons labs in Ukraine. It's like, we don't have any there. Don't worry. No, there's none there. And why would you say that?
Rand Paul's the one that really got to the bottom of all this.
Yeah.
And that's an interesting date to start with.
Well, I mean, Ukraine and China, the reason they do this stuff not in America is because it's much harder to prosecute them for criminal things.
But you can also do a lot of black budget stuff out overseas.
Yeah. I mean, that's why Ukraine is the sandbox for the deep state. I mean, this goes back to like the Bush administration with all of these former Eastern Bloc countries. Like, this is where, like, if they wanted to torture somebody, they wouldn't do it at like Guantanamo Bay. They would, we're just handing them over to the Ukrainians, and they're going to torture them.
Oh yeah.
Right. Well, we didn't do anything at all. Like, it started with that. And so you see that, I mean, because there was, if you remember, there was a coup, a color revolution that took place in Ukraine in, I think 2004 during the Bush administration. So not just the 2014 one, but the one that during Bush's presidency as well. And so we've been doing crazy stuff there for a long time. Yeah. Right. Really, like, since the fall of the Soviet Union. And it is nuts. Like, bioweapons labs, all that. I mean, who knows how many more Wuhan labs there are all over the world. Right. Who has any idea about this stuff? Oh yeah. I mean, Trump himself probably doesn't even know. Right. And won't know. Yeah. Right. You remember, like, in 2017, or no, it was later than that. It was like 2019, toward the end of his presidency, the Pentagon just flat out lied about how many troops we had in Syria. Yeah. They just lied to him. Right. They told him, no, we don't have any troops in Syria. And then we did. And he had no control over it whatsoever. That's why it's like, oh, he could do anything he wants. He's president now. It's like, no, he can't. He has 80% of the government are not accountable to him in any way, shape, or form. So I hate to say this, but this is actually why Yarvin's correct about the decentralized nature of power in America. There's no one who has responsibility. It's all just decentralized networks. No, exactly. I mean, that's why, like, when we talk about the regime, it's not like there's like a handful of guys in a dark room somewhere pulling all the strings. it's totally decentralized. Everybody just implicitly knows what their responsibility is, what they're supposed to do, and if they step out of line, they're going to get in trouble, right? They operate in this coordinated way, but there isn't a coordinator. Right? There isn't somebody from the top down telling them what to do. There's all these various nodes, and if any of them cause trouble, they just get plucked out, and you put them back in. That's why, like, even like the billionaires, right? Zuckerberg and Jeff Bezos and all these people, like the really dumb way of looking at the billionaires control everything. No, they don't. No, the regime tells them what to do. Like like some of the and I'm not trying to cast like Zuckerberg as this sympathetic character at all. Because he could have done something courageous like Elon Musk did back in 2020. He could have given $1 billion to Donald Trump. But instead he gave $1 billion to fortify the election in 2020. And now, right, he goes on Rogan and all these various places talking about how, the Biden administration, they told me what to censor. They told me what to do. And it wasn't me. I couldn't do it. Right. So on one hand, he's like covering himself. Right. It's obvious what he's doing. But on the other hand, it like reveals that the wealthiest and supposedly most powerful people in the country do not have the power that everyone thinks they do. Yeah. Right. He is. And it's both directions.
No, it's so true. Like
he's his board, he is accountable to, and all of the management staff that are all just left-wing lunatics. He has to keep them happy. He has to keep the regime happy. Right. And if he doesn't do that, he's gone.
Yeah.
And
they have to keep him happy too, though, because like those companies would go bankrupt without Elon there as a figurehead. It's like there's these natural checks and balances of PR.
Do you think Facebook would go bankrupt without Zuckerberg?
It's hard to tell. I don't know. That one's tricky.
I don't know if it would. I don't
know who would you. Yeah.
I think it's a self-running
so why
machine
is he
at
there?
This point.
Just because he's compliant?
Well, yeah, because he's played ball.
Yeah.
But like he's in a precarious spot.
But I was thinking like Tesla and some of these companies, SpaceX, like Twitter, even Amazon.
Here, let's see. Zuck's ownership of Facebook is unique in that he is not accountable to the board. He can not do anything he wants. Okay, so he doesn't have a board. Okay, mea culpa, wrong about that. But the lower levels, or that not lower level, but
he doesn't have a board, so he's totally in control.
Majority owner.
Yeah.
So he has control of it, but all of the people, so like Sheryl Sandberg or whatever, like all these people down, below him, they could revolt and just monkey wrench his entire operation and destroy it. So he does have to keep them happy, and he has to keep the regime happy. And
because the regime is actually his biggest client. That's what these social media companies are.
Yeah, everyone's like, "Oh, TikTok's run by the Chinese." It's like
Facebook is run by the American regime,
by the State Department.
Yes,
it always has been.
Yes,
right. It's to collect data on every single person in America.
Social media is a total intelligence agency shtick.
All of it is. Yeah, including X, including everything. YouTube, everything that we use is to collect data on us. I mean, this is why I hate Google, but I pay for YouTube Premium. Because the data they collect on the ads that you watch or skip is way more valuable to them than $16 a month. No, seriously, it is.
So this is your way of being subversive. It's to pay for premium.
To pay them. Yeah. I'm paying the game guild.
I'm doing my part.
I'm doing my part. I'm paying them. But no, for real, it's way more valuable for them because they can, be able to algorithmically determine everything about you after, 20, 30 ads. They can build a profile on you to know exactly what ads to give you, what ads not to give you, what ones you're going to watch, what ones you're going to skip, right? They're constantly refining that algorithmic profile of you with that data. So denying that data to them, especially like if your family uses it and because they really want data on kids.
Yeah, that's creepy. I hate that.
Yeah.
Keep your kids offline.
Yeah, exactly. So anyway, that's a little tidbit for the audience. Sometimes it's better to pay the Dane Guild.
You're a hero.
That's right. I'm doing my part.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and yeah, not having ads is way better because we were watching it today on
The inauguration.
the inauguration. Like he's in the middle of talking, like, yes, and we're gonna make America great again. We're gonna name it the Gulf of America. Ad going in the middle of the speech. And skip. It wasn't on mine.
Here's an interesting thing. Why was there no mention of the health policy? I didn't see RFK Jr. up there.
No, he did. I mean, he didn't invoke his name,
but did he mention it in the speech? What he said?
Yeah, he said we're going to make American children. We have all sorts of chronic disease, especially among children.
Okay,
and we're going to make
the problem
America
is that I wasn't
healthy again. Yeah, you were just tweeting or something. You weren't paying attention.
I wasn't tweeting, man.
He was doing very important work.
Very important work.
Very important work right now. So anyway, yeah, he did talk about it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he did.
Okay,
I thought you were like talking about like Obamacare or something like that. But no, like,
Obamacare doesn't matter anymore.
I mean, it does.
It's a sensitive topic.
It's one of those, like, once you let the genie out of the bottle, there's no putting it back in.
Yeah.
Right. You're not gonna be able to summon the political will to correct the mess. Man. And maybe after you deport 50 million people, it might get a little easier to deal with the American healthcare system.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Just a little bit.
I think so. I mean, that's a lot of people, man.
I mean, but think about it. Like, think about like why this is. I mean, it almost merits its own show for why immigration is A1 top issue that needs to be dealt with.
Housing crisis.
Like, you get rid of 50 million people that should not be here, and all the demand. Because I mean, I was talking to a friend of mine about this like years ago. He's like, no, like, that's not the reason that like a middle class family can't find a home. And I'm like, are you crazy? All of the demand on the bottom side,
it pushes people up,
people further and further up.
So obvious.
And
like
so,
do you follow that Project Liberal account?
Oh no, I think I have them blocked.
It's like the most basic supply and demand issue.
Yeah.
Like, you cut the demand in half, what happens to the prices?
Oh, I think they'll go down.
It's this is third grade stuff.
Look at, because you look at it like all of the, I mean, I remember, when we moved back to Minnesota and we're looking for a place to live, we were staying with family briefly while we're trying to find a place to live. And I'm looking for a job and things like that. And, we didn't have a ton of income. I wasn't gonna be able to get like a $4,000 mortgage or something. And this is like 2018. We're looking for places to live, and there was nothing like within my price point at all, other than Section 8, which, like, we weren't going to do. We wouldn't qualify for it anyway. All of that, right? Every like modest 3-bed, 2-bath home, or even apartments, all of it, everywhere in the entire Twin Cities was Section 8 housing.
Mm-hmm.
Every single thing, right? So there wasn't like what existed even when we were first married, where it's like you're first married, you look for just a cheap, junky starter home, 3-bed, 2-bath, ramshackle place that you can buy and fix up. Those are all gone. Those all get snatched up and turned into Section 8 or various housing schemes. To house illegals, to house migrants, you name it.
Mm-hmm.
And then they make big money on that, way more than like if I were going to rent a house from somebody.
Yeah.
And so you look at that, like, how are people supposed to get married and start families if all of the housing that they would otherwise buy and occupy, it's just gone. It's just eliminated from the market. And I have several friends that are looking for homes, like trying to find somewhere to live, and you can't even find trailers to live in.
Yeah.
Right. It's insane. And why is this? Well, we have 50 million people in the country that need to go. That's why. 50 million people, the majority of whom we are paying for. That's why. Yeah. And so those people are gone.
They came in illegally, and that's against the law. And so they
have to go back.
Yeah.
Right. Sorry. Actually, I'm not sorry at all.
You break the laws to go back.
You should be sorry. Actually, you need to be sorry. If you're here illegally, you need to be sorry. You need to apologize to me and CJ and all of America personally. Right?
You say I'm sorry. I say I'm sorry.
I don't know. It's just how I say it.
I know.
So
I love
that. Well, even friends in Minnesota make fun of how I say sorry. So I don't know. I don't know where it comes from. Yeah, I know.
It's imported from Canada.
Maybe it is. I'm not even a little bit Canadian though. So.
Interesting.
Anyway, I am hopeful.
That's important.
That's right. I need to let people know. Cryptic will be there. Oh, Canadian, get him out of here. So that issue. I mean, just on the housing issue, much less the crime, much less how much. I mean, just think. We talk about inflation. Like he did talk about inflation and how he's going to bring it down somehow magically, which I'm very skeptical of.
That's a hard one because you can't deliver on it. That's a hard one to
make a promise.
I wouldn't be so bold about the promise on that.
Yeah, you know? Well, exactly. But you get rid of 50 million people. Mm-hmm. That's 50 million people fewer shopping at Walmart and Sam's Club or whatever you get your groceries. And that will bring down the cost of your food. Right. In the same way, it's like, well, do they eat the same? It doesn't matter because like money is fungible. And if demand shifts downward, right, everything will.
Yeah. Go to Mises.org for more.
Yes. Right. Like everything will become more affordable.
Yeah.
Overnight. Right. Because there'll be less demand for these things. So that's the thing. It's like, oh, your avocados are going to cost more because we deport all the people that are picking them. And it's like, yeah, they're also not going to be eating food on food stamps that I pay for anymore either. So I only have to feed my family and not 10 other families. So no, it's it will like that issue affects every single other issue. And I'm very hopeful that can be turned around instead of just like, oh, the flood is lessened slightly of people coming here. No, not just it needs to stop completely. Like he shows the chart, the chart to save my life. And you see, it does go down when he's president, but it's not negative. Mm-hmm. Right? It needs to be negative. Mm-hmm. Right? It needs to be all these millions of people went back and nobody came in. That's what we need to see in the first year of him in office.
Yeah.
Right? That's it.
Yeah,
so
that's going to be.
My name is.
Who's that? What'd you say?
Cryptic. Make sure to ban him. Thank you. We don't like that guy. I don't have a theology degree, Cryptic. Try again. Anyway, what else? What else do you remember from the speech? We were gonna play it, but I thought that would be kind of boring to just play it. Oh, stop! And then we talk about it. What else? Yeah, what else? And it wasn't like as entertaining of a speech that he gives. I mean, he read it from a teleprompter, and those are like he stayed on script. There were a few little Trumpisms that he throws in there, but it wasn't. It wasn't one of his bangers that's hilarious. It was. I mean, it was really good because of the things he said. Yeah. But it wasn't, a standard.
Well, he did say it's going to be the official policy of the American government that there will be two genders. So, yeah. which is hilarious that needs to be said.
That even needs to be said,
and that's considered based.
Yeah. Wow. And what a radical thing to say. There's only two genders. Oh my goodness. But
he's signaling, right?
Yeah, of course he is. Yeah. Which is good. And he's saying it like Biden and Kamala right over his shoulder, that's entertaining on its own. But the themes that he's saying, the golden age of America starts now, like things like that.
McKinley signaling.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And again, like, I mean, you're worried because he might try to do globalist type stuff using that, bait and switch wise.
Not globalist, but I do think that there's like a lot of. I don't know what America first means in terms of like buying Greenland, working closer with Mexico, blurring the border. Like I don't know what kind of trade things are going to come down the pipeline. So I don't know. I don't know. Like it is funny to see them talking about some bigger partnerships, like the whole thing with Canada a month ago.
Yeah, it's interesting.
Signaling,
maybe because Canada is basically India too now, and what does that mean, right? And And aside from that, so like say status quo remains, the NAFTA agreements and the free trade that exists between the United States and Canada and Mexico. I think, buying Greenland or just taking it, right? I mean, for one thing, like the idea that America expanding its territory, which he said, like America's going to expand its territory, like the idea of America doing that again after 100 years of not, of just saying, no, we're going to take land, right? We want this land. Nobody's using it. We will. It's a strategic point for trade, right? If you're able to open up the Northwest Passage year round, then Greenland is very strategic.
Yeah.
Retaking the Panama Canal. And I have to say it as an aside, like my dad, when he was in the Army, he was stationed in the canal zone. So Panama and the canal specifically is near and dear to his heart. And so I haven't called him yet to ask him what he thought about that. But I'm sure he's just beaming about that, because my entire life, or at least I was in 99 that the lease ended and they gave it back to Panama and they promptly gave it to the Chinese. My dad was furious about that. And he has been for a long, long time. So I hear about it all the time. Why did we give Panama to the canal to the Chinese? And now we're getting it back, right?
Yeah.
Our canal, right? It's ours. We took it. We made it.
That was a funny comment.
Yeah. It's our canal. We made that.
How did he say it? He said, we gave it to Panama and now the Chinese are using it. So we're going to take it back.
We're taking it back.
Yeah.
And you see why it's important. Like it's a reclamation of the Monroe Doctrine that America, the Americas, is the United States sphere of influence, and we are going to exercise much more authority over it. Right. So the canal is a strategic asset. We are going to take it. We need it, right? Just for the United States Navy to be able to operate efficiently from one ocean to the other, and American shipping, right? And this is what he's talking about is, right, well, they're not treating us fairly, and so we're taking it back. It's great. It's fantastic, actually, right? America should flex its muscles, and not in Ukraine or the Middle East or all these other parts of the world that pale in strategic importance to the United States, but in our own backyard, right? That's the border and Mexico and all these things, along with the canal, right? Those are things that are actually important to Americans way more than Donetsk and Luhansk, right? Whether it belongs to Ukraine or Russia. Right. That doesn't matter to us either way at all. Right. Nobody woke up in January or February of 2022 and it's like, man, I just don't know if I can go on. No actual American, like Alexander Vindman, I guess, or Bill Kristol, Ukrainians LARPing as Americans.
Oh, I wonder how they're doing right now. I haven't even checked in on those.
Oh, guys. Did you see
David
his wife?
French was freaking out.
His wife,
Melinda Gates?
No. Vindman's wife.
No.
It was like, we never got any pardons. She's complaining on Blue Sky about how they didn't get a pardon.
Yeah, this is David French was freaking out. Did you see his tweet?
Oh no.
He was over on Blue Sky.
Yeah,
I didn't see it though. I don't know how to find it again. I'm not on Blue Sky.
Blue Cry. Yeah.
Yeah. It's funny though.
What did he say? I mean, give me the gist of it.
I'm trying to find it here. I'm trying to find it. It was basically like, that was horrible. He's gonna plunge us into darkness, all that kind of stuff.
I mean, if you just you can rate how great a Trump speech is based on how much it freaks out David French.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so it was a banger. It was great. Couldn't have said it better myself, David French. That's great. You didn't find it?
I'm trying to find it right now.
Okay. All
Someone
right.
sent it to me.
If we don't find it, we don't find it. It is what it is. But I mean, overall, it's exactly what we voted for, right? This is what won at the ballot box.
Yeah.
Everything that he said, right? He is going to do. And I mean, from the very beginning, he's like, Yeah, they tried to kill me, and here I am. Like, and the people in that room are the ones that did it, right? You can't. I don't know if you listened to Sean Davis's appearance on Tucker about the assassination attempt.
I didn't watch that. No,
but it wasn't some crazy, libtard kid acting alone at all. Right? I will go to my grave not believing. I mean, it's not even like there's an official. There isn't a narrative at all. It's just, well, we have no idea why he would do this. I mean, he Googled Joe Biden too.
So what was this theory? Just that it was a deep state op, or?
Well, I mean, his theory is, more or less that all of these things adding up, right? All of the security lapses are not just whoopsies.
Yeah,
making a mistake.
Well, that's why that's another element of all this. They took it inside because of the weather.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And they canceled the flyover. So
yeah. Why would you cancel a flyover? Right.
Yeah.
Oh, well, we're not having it outside. We don't need it. I don't think so. I don't buy that for a second. I think they were going to try to kill him today. And
that's crazy, man.
And I think there's going to be heightened security around him.
Yeah. Like if
everything he does,
if they wanted to do it today, why wouldn't they tomorrow?
I think they'll try again.
Yeah.
Right. I think we should. I think nothing ever happens, bro. Should stay tuned because a lot of happenings have happened over the last 6 months. But it is, yeah. I mean, I'm never going to believe that this was just random.
Yeah.
Right. And then the guy on the golf course, right, who is, just some loser that they have this like strategic loser reserve that they draw from, and this is what Antifa is. This is what the BLM riots were. Is they have large numbers of just total losers that they can draw from, that have nothing going on, that can go do criminal acts for them. And so they round them up to go to, I mean, so many like of these Antifa people that were in the BLM riots were sent overseas. Like there was the one in Seattle, there were like a couple black kids driving through the Chaz or whatever dumb thing they had, and one of them got shot. I think it was like a 17-year-old kid, 16-year-old kid gets shot and killed by a sniper that like was running a checkpoint. And this was a guy who was involved in like the Kurdish Peshmerga, right? Like basically was sent by the State Department to train overseas and fight. And then randomly he's back in Seattle, right? Occupying violently occupying a territory there. Like they have people like this, right? They have people like this operating in Ukraine. That's what this guy on the golf course was. And it's like, oh no, he just acted alone, just randomly did this. No, of course not.
Yeah.
Of course he didn't. And of course this kid on the rooftop in Butler, Pennsylvania didn't either. Right? No. And one of the things that Sean brought up is that there are all of these, encrypted apps, right? None of them are actually encrypted and like they can read all of them. Right. Like Tucker's signal messages were read when he was going to Russia to interview Putin.
They'll have backdoors for sure.
So he was in contact with foreign people too before this, and we can't get in, we can't break into, we can't figure it out. It's like, because this is what they do. They launder it through like foreign proxies to give the instruction. Like this is how they operate. And so the regime, talks to, Ukrainian guy or whatever. I mean, maybe it's Ukraine, who knows where it is, or British or whatever. And then he's the handler for the guy because it's much harder to pin it on an American and the American intelligence agencies. So anyway, it's they've been trying to kill him the last year, and that will continue now that he's president. It's not going to stop because he's president now. And I'm very hopeful that there's been a huge cleaning house of the Secret Service now that he's in office.
Oh yeah.
It can only be 100% loyal people.
Oh yeah. I'm sure it's already been locked down.
I would hope. So. And hopefully, like someone like Eric Prince is very involved at high levels in his security. And
yeah, it's going to be a wild year. It's going to be a wild next few months.
The next few months, especially.
Yeah.
Because the freak out over
the media propaganda is going to be insane.
Yeah.
Unlike anything we've ever seen before.
There are going to be, I mean, starting today, I mean, I haven't looked online at all, but there are going to be millions of crying children at the border, and it's going to be wall-to-wall coverage of it for months.
There's already a couple going around.
Oh, really?
Finding out that their apps don't work. Did you see that one?
Oh, with the
one app
asylum.
Yeah, they're standing there and their app didn't work, so they couldn't get approved, and they're crying. Well, so it's already starting.
Yeah, time to go back. Free ride's over. All right. This is our country, not yours. Too bad.
Yeah. With that, I think.
Yeah, what time is? Oh, yeah, we're out of time, man. Time has flown by. It's been fun talking about this.
Yeah, it's a big day.
Yeah, it's hard to
Inauguration Monday.
Yeah, it's hard to keep up with everything. But we'll be back Friday. Right? We said we make all these promises just like Trump, and we don't keep them.
Unlike Trump.
unlike Trump. That's right. But we will be back Friday, right?
We will be back Friday.
Do we have a guest? Doesn't know. Okay. All right. Well,
ask Gary.
All right. Well, yeah, he's got to line up our guests now. So with that, I guess we're thankful for you joining us for this brief fireside chat. We don't have a fire in here. Where's the fire at? Should we get a fireplace? Let us know in the comments. We should get a fireplace. But yeah, I've had fun. We're gonna keep tinkering with the studio. Don't worry, guys. We're not quite where we want to be. See, just like we can't go to half done studio. I'm like, we're doing it. We're doing it anyway.
I'm humiliated.
Are you really?
Half done studio? Are you kidding me? And you have jeans on.
And I have jeans on. Yes, I know. We'll get buttoned up next time. So
I'm not humiliated.
No, that's good.
I could not care less.
I know. All right. Well, thank you all so much for everything. The comments have been great as always. We love you guys. We're thankful. We're thankful for President Donald John Trump, the 47th president of the United States.
He's the first president since FDR to win 3 elections in a row.
3 in a row. That's right.
Yeah,
back to back. Maybe he'll win another one.
We'll see.
But yeah, thank you for watching. Please share it and like it and subscribe and do all of those things. And if you want more info about the series that is upcoming, you're going to have to DM CJ about that. So that's all we got. Stay peacefully dangerous, and we will see you all next time.